Okay. Let's load this up. Okay, alright. So, what is it? I got home today like a few minutes ago. It hasn't even been half an hour. Oh yeah, the last thing we did. Oh no! Like a few hours ago. And literally my YouTube feed is full of like fucking video games and shit. So I'm assuming that this event that just happened, which is the title of the video, is like video game reveals and shit. So I'm just going to show you the subscription feed because I don't like doing these things live. I obviously wasn't here for it to happen. So I've basically been somewhat spoiled. This is of course my YouTube feed, what it looks like. And I'm trying to find the video. I might have to cut through it because of buffering and shit. Yeah. Click again. There we go. Open that up. Oh, cool. 4 minutes. That's easily skippable. Man, Guerrilla Games is so big now they can do their own fucking direct. Like the Ubisoft. Guerrilla Games, of course, Horizon. We saw the new Horizon game in the PlayStation, so oof. That's a nice countdown.
What's happening, everyone? I'm Justin Woodward, co-founder of the Media Indie Exchange, The Mix, and one of the producers behind the Guerrilla Collective, helping to organize the show alongside our developer, publishing colleagues, and our great friends at Kind of Funny. We appreciate everyone's support for the show and tuning in. It is going to be an amazing experience. But we also wanted to put a positive message out into the world during these uncertain times. We are all proud of what we've accomplished thus far with the Guerrilla Collective, as well as the message of being stronger united. But we cannot ignore the tragedies of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and the other black victims of police brutality and racially motivated violence. Last weekend, we put together the Black Voices in Gaming stream with the support of our partners to share a positive message, as well as aid for those affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, through the addition of a charity supported by Tiltify, where you can donate to the streams. During the show, we will remind everyone ways that they can donate through the links below. Thanks for listening, supporting these movements, stay safe, and enjoy the Guerrilla Collective. Peace.
I can't lie, the Guerrilla Collective sounds like some culty ass shit. I do not like that name.
Welcome to the Guerrilla Collective.
Oh god!
A 3-day digital festival of game announcements, trailers, and demos streamed straight to you.
Yeah, I gotta do another video tomorrow.
Please welcome your host, Game Awards trending gamer, Greg Miller.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Guerrilla Collective live from our
2 years ago
sanitized and empty studio. With E3 on the ropes this year, the Media Indie Exchange, the Mix for short, and the Kind of Funny Games Showcase saw an opportunity to team up with amazing developers, publishers, and studios to help shine a spotlight on some of the coolest games around. And that's just what we're going to do here with the Guerrilla Collective. Almost 80 teams have come together to bring you nearly 90 games spread out across 3 days right here on the screen of your choice. Right now, it's day one, and we could not think of a better way to welcome you to the collective than to bombard you with trailers, reveals, and titles you can play as soon as the show is over. Let's not waste any more time on little old me. Instead, let's start with a world premiere trailer no one's ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is System Shock.
What? Is it the remaster?
World premiere.
Is it the remaster we've all been waiting for? This is a real ass video game too. That's a good start. Ooh. At least traditionally. Hey, look, the mouse. Oh, is that my mouse? My controller's off, so. I hope it's not my mouse on the screen. Where's Shodan? I want to see Shodan. Well, because they already did a System Shock remaster in like 2006, 2008? I don't remember. Or was it System Shock 2? It doesn't seem tonally correct, but I'm not very familiar with them. Oh, is that Darksiders? Nah. Let me turn up my TV volume. Is that Darksiders? That's like a Darksiders that's good. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm a sucker for card games. And turn-based too. Okay, is this gonna... Okay. You like an AT-AT? Okay. That didn't seem like it was supposed to happen just then. Oh, cool! You're like a UFO. Okay, cool. Ooh. I feel like there's like a name for these like res games. It's kind of like a Res Infinite except without the shooting part. It's like flying through like whatever environment. I feel like there should be a name for that type of genre game. Because there's so many of them now. Even like Cluster Truck technically falls under this category that I'm thinking of. That might not exist. I don't know. Is that an O?
World premiere.
Oh shit. None of the other games are world premieres? What? Of course, you gotta feature proof of shit. Ooh, a pig. Shooting those out or catching them? I can't quite tell. This is a pretty good track. Oh, sick. Is that Cthulhu? Is that Cthulhu-esque? Is Almighty already a series? I feel like I've heard the name Almighty before.
We started the Kind of Funny Games Showcase in 2018
cool.
as a way to use our platform to make sure indie games weren't lost in the wake of big budget titles.
Okay, hold on.
That's why teaming up with the Mix for the Guerrilla Collective made so much sense.
That's the wrong button.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
So I gotta fix this too. Ah, that always happens. Hold on, switch. Yes. That probably won't cancel my progress, but I gotta reload the video. Okay. Okay, we're back. Of course. Where's the mouse? Here it is. Away with ye! Alright. Alright, back to Greg. Back to the host guy.
We started the Kind of Funny Games Showcase in 2018 as a way to use our platform to make sure indie games weren't lost in the wake of big budget titles. That's why teaming up with the Mix for the Guerrilla Collective made so much sense. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the Mix, Justin Woodward.
Hey, what's the
Hey
Mix?
everyone, thank you so much for tuning in today. We started the Mix in
Is
2012
the Mix like a mixer
new
or
ways for
some shit?
developers to get visibility for their games. The Guerrilla Collective is really an evolution of that concept, where developers large and small showcase their games.
Justin, you're a developer.
Oh, so it's not
Why
Guerrilla
are indie
Games,
so
it's the
important?
public.
Well, Greg,
whatever they
indie
do.
games are
Is it?
super important because the
Is Collective its
experiences
own
that
thing that has
independent
the
game
same name?
developers invest their blood, sweat, and tears to
should've
create
come up with a better
help to
name,
push
then.
gaming entertainment in the form of narrative, art, tech, and game design to new heights.
Exactly. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you gotta support your indie devs. Indie devs with hot new titles just like these.
Rocky is a modern-day tale of courage and adventure. A game about monsters that shouldn't exist.
Holy shit, it's Squidward.
Join Tuve, a young girl touched by magic. Explore an uncharted world of hidden legends.
Oh, cool, the giant dog.
Discover mysterious items and meet long-forgotten monsters. Solve ancient puzzles to unlock paths deeper into the forest.
I like the snow. I'm a sucker for snow.
Draw maps, collect curiosities, and chart your adventure.
Man, I wish there was more snow in video games.
Unveil the story of tragic loss and the path to redemption. Confront Tuve's past. Explore her memories and learn the truth.
I don't even know what the mystery is.
Rocky, a game about monsters that shouldn't exist, but do.
I like the art style.
Justice Lore is kind of a combination of a creation myth and a film noir thriller. Hi, we're Feral Cat 10, a level design studio composed of myself, creative lead, Jeremy, technical lead.
Hi, I'm Jeremy, the technical lead. So in some ways, our game is a traditional point and click, in that you have the normal click to move your character around.
Ooh, letters.
But in a lot of ways, it's not. In that we don't really have tricky inventory puzzles where you have to like combine stuff together. It's a lot more about just kind of playing in space, and the puzzles are meant to kind of evoke a vibe and a feeling.
Our emphasis is more on tactile, kind of exploratory interactions. So you might manipulate a planet's orbit or change the age of a sun. My skill set is definitely more 2D animation and graphic design. Jeremy is really into like VJing and generative art. Not only does a very black and white kind of simplified visual representation enable us to kind of explore concepts of on the cosmic scale.
Oh my god, it's like
in the noir
matter manipulator
territory.
from Marvel Comics.
It's also, stuff that we like making, and that was a very natural fit.
So of course we're inspired by the classic noir films, which usually have a pretty jazzy soundtrack, and we kind of tried to bring a more cosmic style to that, and inspired by stuff by Sun Ra and similar artists. So we partnered with these great musicians and sound designers in London called Stillbart, and they've really created this great dynamic soundtrack. And there's a lot of synergy between the visuals and the audio that feels really great, I think.
This is our first game that we've ever made, our first dabbling into Unreal. Jeremy and I had wanted to make a project together for quite some time. I brought this idea to him, and it was kind of the perfect meeting point of all our different interests.
So then we made a little 2-week demo, and we sent that around to a few friends, and they were really encouraging, and they suggested that we go to GDC and try to meet with some publishers. And so that went really well. So it was just really encouraging all around.
Genesis Noir is inspired by primarily cosmic comics, but so many other things, from classic film noir, like The Third Man is a personal favorite. We're super inspired also by the world of jazz. Guys like Sun Ra, Miles Davis, the kind of spacier territory that jazz explores. Thanks for checking out Genesis Noir. We're really excited for you to play it, and we look forward to destroying the Big Bang.
Thanks for checking out our game.
The Big Bang.
Hope you enjoy it. Bye.
We have to do it. Genesis Noir.
World premiere.
Product not yet rated.
Welcome to Purgatory, the land of lost souls, the realms of madness. Does anyone have what it takes to survive the nightmares of this realm and open the doors of insanity?
I do.
Join our hero riding his mighty steed on a quest of redemption. Monstrosities and damnation stand in their way, armed with sword, shield, and mystical cards. No defense, just attack. They will carve a path of merciless terror through their enemy. Whoa. I mean, we just started. Let's try that again. Witness a world where chilling hot food on the river Styx makes you look like a total badass. Because you know you won't be thrown overboard to hell. Because you are really, really awesome.
This is the stream.
Limbo cannot hold you. You deserve paradise. Use your sexy charms. Befriend a scary witch. Master spells with your magnificent mind. Summon awesome allies for your enchanted entourage. And give respect to beings of infinite powers. Hey, what a cool story. Using a new powerful deck of defense cards, you will block, parry, and riposte your way to victory. Oh, not again. Were heroes always this fragile? Strap yourself in.
So it's a roguelike.
Again? Summon a 1940s boy band. No! I'm gonna be honest, it's not going the way we wanted it to. Great. Next hero. More meat for the grind. Your world where everyone dies and food is futile. Yes! Alright. Good card choices, excellent equipment. Okay, solid tactics. We got this. We have our hero. Now,
Begins in
let's
purgatory.
swing open the
Is that what it said?
doors of insanity. Where no sword is too big.
That name is a bit extra.
Ally too obnoxious.
I would not have picked that name for that game.
You should definitely buy.
This is the story of a little juggler's girl. Trapped in her life, she wanted to see the world. Alone. And, oops, not quite alone. Careful. Careful where you flee. The world has worse on offer than the skin of your knee.
Delicious. That's what to like soak it up in the granite.
As much as I wish that it weren't so,
A noble sacrifice
the
indeed.
way things are the way things go.
I didn't need to be that.
I'm all you've got in this forsaken land.
What you need?
So hold back and trust.
Ooh, is this an evil narrator? I love evil narrators. I don't really need it, but thanks. Man, has anyone ever thought about doing an Oregon Trail remake? That would be crazy. Freaking getting dysentery. Okay. Oh man, it's like a more in-depth like truck simulator. This is Trucker Simulator. Wow. That's good. Cool. It's the nice side of UPS. So it's like trials. Oh, sick! Ooh. They don't need to do that in trials, do they? Like do like a 180 with your character. Oh, okay. So this is for like people who play trials and are too good. So now you can get style points. That's not a bad idea. Oh shit! Oh, okay. Is that legally distinct enough? I would think so.
Exclusive.
In Boyfriend Dungeon, you spend the summer in Verona Beach, California,
Boyfriend
fighting monsters
Dungeon.
for money. Except the swords you find in the dungeon can also transform into beautiful men, women, and non-binary
Oh my god, I've never heard a
people
woman
you
say the
can
word
befriend.
dunge before. It sounds so different. Oh, this game! Where your boyfriends are your weapons. It's like Soul Eater,
You try
but
to
a
get as
dating
far
sim.
as you can in the dungeon each time, but dying's okay, because you
Except
can
it's
level up
super
too.
Dude, you need to date your level 5 sword so you become a level 10 sword.
You need to get stronger to go further. To do that, you'll need a closer relationship with your weapon. You spend the game alternating between fighting in the dungeon and hanging out with your weapons around town. I personally get bored if there's only fighting, but also I get restless if there's too much reading, so we wanted to make a mix of the two.
I don't even want to say it. Oh my god. Okay. Could you imagine if there was a mechanic in the game where the sword likes it when you kill a particular type of enemy? So you go like on a sick murder spree with your sword, killing those
I'm dating
people?
Sandra the Talwar.
Or whatever.
And when we spend enough time together,
That would be the
we'll
worst.
discover new abilities we can use in combat.
Really? They should avoid that if they can. Cool.
Each weapon has a different set of upgrades to find, with choices to make along the way.
I wonder how many people are gonna pick just the specific type of weapon and not really care for the personality. Or if it's like
Different weapons have different preferences for where they want to go on dates, how they want to flirt, and what kinds of gifts they want to receive.
But what
They
type
might
of
give you a
weapon
gift
is-
too.
Like, can it be a gun? Mom, would you date a gun?
There's a variety of different kinds of people / weapons to date in Boyfriend
What about
Dungeon.
sword?
So it's up to you who you want to wield and level up your life.
If you had to date, no, well, it's like it transforms into a
Watch
weapon.
out,
That'd be fine.
there's someone out there kidnapping weapons.
Well, anything else? How about like
We're
a
getting
shield? or
closer to
something?
finishing Boyfriend Dungeon now, and we hope
Shield,
people will love it as much as we do.
Oh, there you go.
If that
So
sounds
they are
like your
gender.
kind of game,
Wow, so your
we
weapons
should
are
list
also
Boyfriend
gender
Dungeon
locked.
on Steam now.
That's cool.
I know if you want more creamy sauce
What did you put creamy sauce?
on the corner.
What kind of
But your
sauce?
potatoes have creamy sauce.
What kind of sauce?
I think it's like a sour cream.
Okay. You got chicken burgers, but no buns. Which I'm perfectly fine with. You could have just used the bread. Pegasus. Oh, it's too late. I already cut up. Yeah. This is a good alternative for starch. But what about your keto diet? Oh. Ooh, the economy. It's hard to pay attention while cutting food. How long do the potatoes take? No, this one's fine.
There's some more.
All that looked awesome, but it highlights my #1 problem with showcases like ours, Justin.
Yes.
We show you all this cool stuff, and then you have to wait months to play it.
Yo, I feel you, Greg. That's why we at the Guerrilla
Is it out
Collective
now?
are putting an end to that right now. This next round of games share one amazing concept. They are all being released this month.
Exclusive.
Oh, you game who just... Oh! Slay the Spire. Are they gonna have content update? I can't tell the difference between base game and new game. Because I haven't personally played it myself. Okay. Oh shit, one more combo. Really? Wow. And not even I would have thunk it. But okay. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, cool.
We just gave you a bunch of games you can play today, so I think it's okay to go back to teasing you. And let's start in a big way. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a brand new announcement trailer from Baldur's Gate 3.
What? Really?
Exclusive.
Okay.
Consider your predicament. One skull, two tenants, and no solution in sight. I could fix it all, like that. Try to cure yourself, shop around, beg, borrow, and steal. Exhaust every possibility until none are left. And when hope has been whittled down to the very marrow of despair, that's when you come knocking on my door.
I refuse to knock on your door. Ooh, Leviathans. And I've been learning so much D&D lore. Not really, actually. Quite a bit. I already don't like that sword pulling animation. Ha! Fuck. I hate that.
Ta-da-da! Hi everybody and welcome to community update number 3 for Baldur's Gate 3. I have great news today. We finally locked down our early access content and we decided that we're going to bring Baldur's Gate 3 for the very first time in your hands in August 2020.
Is this still slated to come out on the Stadia?
Maybe. And the maybe has everything to do, of course, with COVID-19. We've been hit like everybody else in the world. We've been working from home, which wasn't necessarily the easiest thing as game developers, because we like to huddle around the monitor and discuss about the things that are happening in the game. But nonetheless, we managed to make a lot of progress since you last saw the game at PAX East. So we think we're going to make it, depending on a couple of things. One of these things, for instance, is our performance capturing and motion capturing. Our people have started returning to the office. We've been recording again. And if we can hit a certain speed in the recording, then we should be able to make it. The game is looking amazing. It is absolutely incredible to see how much progress has been made since PAX East. And I think when you'll see it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. The visual fidelity has increased a lot. And the cool part is that actually we're going to launch the game in August in early access, but we still have an entire development period to go after that. So it's going to look even better by the time it's going to release. You will see things like improvement in combat. We did a lot of changes in how combat goes, how the camera moves, how the initiative system works. All together they make for a much more refined combat experience, which is a lot of fun, I can tell you that. There are changes in the way that we do our narrator. That was something that we had a lot of feedback on. There's the integration of the is getting better and better, so we're getting a really good handle on how to do things, and so it feels like a really, really cool game.
I'm watching the title of the video. You should read it.
Here's the really cool part. You don't have to wait until August 22.
Otherwise, I have no idea what I'm
about, because we'll do another gameplay live stream, and we'll do it just in front of Dungeons and Dragons Live on June 18th. And you will decide for me whether or not I'm going to kill a hobgoblin who deserves to be killed. His name is Raxin, or if I'm going to descend into the Underdark. I'm very much looking forward to it, so I hope to see you there on June 18th. It's going to be a lot of fun. Take care. Bye-bye.
Oh, man. I thought it was going to be an RPG, not an MMORPG. That lowers the bar of quality for me.
What makes a true RPG? Shaping the attitudes and urges of a fallible psyche. Bruising the tissues of another world. Should a true RPG have dice rolls? How about a megaton of dialogue? Maybe it's found in achieving a certain prestige.
Okay. It is just
or within the undying love of the people. But perhaps none of that matters, for being true is really about finding your style. That's right, brother. Disco Elysium, a true RPG.
Did they,
Now on the Epic Games Store.
That's a weak ass announcement.
Exclusive.
Ooh.
They say there ain't no such thing as a good death.
Wyoming. Nice.
Depends on which side of the gun you're on.
Wait a second.
What you're fighting for.
Did these guys not know about the version of Ghost Rider that's literally a cowboy? Who rides a flaming horse?
Not many kind souls left in purgatory.
Basically Ghost Rider. Actually, that's cool.
Sent to the abyss.
That is cool.
But a few folks are looking out for me, helping where they can. Others, more problematic. There's an old saying. The only thing evil requires to succeed is for good men to do nothing.
Yes. Okay.
Living or dead, still true. And I'm through doing nothing.
That's really good.
Hi, I'm Tarn Adams. I'm the co-founder of Bay 12 Games, and we make a game Dwarf Fortress.
Ooh, a doggo.
My brother Zach and I have been working on that game for a long time. It came out in 2006. But now we're bringing the game to Steam and Itch, and the biggest update about it is that we're bringing graphics to the game. Artists Mike and Patrick are longtime modders of the game.
I feel like there should be a counter on the side showing the
now
actual
we're all working
progression.
together to
Because you can see the map
give
populating,
game
but you don't get a time
overhaul
frame.
and hopefully let a lot more people play it. Dwarf Fortress is a settlement management game. You have a group of dwarves that go out to make a fortress in a procedurally generated world. That's the first part we'll be looking at here. So by procedurally generated world, we don't just mean a randomized map, but that it runs a history, a historical simulation over a few hundred years, if you want to let it keep running, where civilizations spread out and trade with each other, fight with each other, magical things happen, strange things happen. There's thousands and thousands of little characters tracked that you might see when you start playing your game. There are all sorts of edges between things that you can see here, between the different biomes, little trees and mountains and so forth, so that the picture is a little more readable.
Rightish hand corner. Looks like a dude with a bow and arrow doing this.
Just squiggles and arrows.
Like a leg in the arrow.
And you can see the world develop as the
looks like a dude doing a Kamehameha.
pass. And then you just plop down your dwarves and start playing
There's
in
Kamehameha guy
environment.
in the left.
So when you start your fortress, you have your dwarves and a wagon and some animals to start with, and whatever else you would like to bring along. Pick for mining, buckets and ropes and food, alcohol, very important. General idea is that you want to just kind of lay out your things and dig into the mountain, make some bedrooms, make some workshops, allow people to start getting on with their lives here. So the big thing you might notice about this area at first is that it has some three-dimensionality to it, in the sense that there's a hill and lower levels and that you can see going up and down. That was the big first project for the artists and I to kind of work out how we're going to display this in text. You could just show some upward triangles. There's a ramp, go uphill. and that worked for a few people. But to try and generalize that, we had to draw in many cases of ramps and get them displayed. But it looks cool now. Here they are. We have all sorts of ramps and things. Then there's lots of workshop pictures to do, lots of item pictures to do. Our dwarves are all just sort of this one placeholder dwarf right now, but we'll have different faces and clothing and things for the different appearances of the dwarves. All the dwarves have back in the text version, it was just a giant text paragraph describing what the dwarf looks like, but now you'll be able to see some of that.
Okay.
So yeah, it's pretty exciting. We're still at the early stages. You can see with the text graphics that are still around the edges and so forth that we're going to update. This is all very kind of preliminary as we're working through it, but should be pretty cool by the time we're done. And we have a lot more to work on, and then that means a lot more kind of news to share as we go, as we update the pictures and also the usability of the game, so that it'll be easier to get into. So thanks for watching.
Oh, punch the trees. Punch the tree. The PC game show is still gonna happen? I swear that was locked to E3, but I guess it doesn't have to be like anything else. Mankind is dead, blood is full, hell is full. Oh, that's not good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dude, he had a robot arm. Good looking explosion. Sick. He did a block. Sick. 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 What? Damn. Oh. What? Also, video game. That game seems like it's a little too edgy though, with the URL link and whatnot. Dusk. Okay.
Are you ready to find the next game you'll love more than anything else? That's the worst transition to the show, I promise. Check out these gameplay updates from some of our closest friends.
You're fun.
Exclusive.
Oh, it's a studio trailer.
Hi everyone, and welcome to 11-Bit Studio Show in the Guerrilla Collective. You know us from the titles like Frostpunk, This War of Mine, Moonlighter, Children of Morta, and more.
Those are all good games.
First up, let's visit the home of the Bergson family, the protagonists of Children of Morta, a story-driven roguelite action RPG set in a mesmerizing fantasy world. It's just got a new Game Plus free update, but there's more content coming. Here are a few words from Marek Ziemak, executive producer at 11-Bit Studios.
Hey guys, we hope you're doing okay. Luckily we're fine and we're working harder than ever. Children of Morta has a very special place in our hearts. And we also know that many of you out there really enjoyed that game. Our previous free DLC has added new Game Plus mode to the game. But this is not the end of the story of Children of Morta. Obviously there's more content coming. We know that when it comes to RPG games, new characters are in high demand. This is exactly what we'll focus on in our next free update called Bergson's Home. We will be bringing you a brand new playable character to enjoy.
Our brave hero merchant Will from Moonlighter is never tired of adventures. Between Dimensions DLC has just released on consoles. And now Will is packing his backpack to discover the lands of mobile gaming. Here's Javier Jimenez, Digital Sun CEO.
Hi there folks, this is Javi from Digital Sun. It has already been 2 years since we released Moonlighter. It's been quite a ride for us and we want to thank you all. We are celebrating this anniversary by releasing the Moonlighter DLC Between Dimensions on all consoles. We know some of you have been waiting for that for quite a while, so we hope it's worth that time. And we are also announcing that we are releasing Moonlighter Mobile later this year. The mobile version of Moonlighter is going to be something quite fresh and quite new because we try to rebuild it so it feels like a native mobile experience. It has new controls, it has a new graphic user interface, it has a new approach to combat. So we think it's going to feel not like a simple port, but something that it's actually working as a native game. We want to share with you some bits of videos we have of the current gameplay so you can take a glimpse into what's coming. And that's everything I wanted to share with you. Thank you so much and see you soon.
The scouts have brought news from the farthest, coldest corners of Frostland. The population of New London, humanity's hope, has survived. But was it all worth it? Here's a special reveal from Frostpunk's lead designer, Kuba Stokalski.
Hello everyone. Frostpunk is a grim society survival city building game. In January, it got a prequel expansion called The Lost Autumn, which enables you to see what happens just before the icy apocalypse. This new expansion tells a story of citizens of New London on a special assignment after the Great Storm. It opens not only a brand new chapter in the Frostpunk universe, but pits you against new challenges and new gameplay mechanics, both in the city and on the Frostpunk map, enriching the experience. A brand new frozen board is set, and the pieces are moving. What does it mean for you as the leader, and what fate awaits your society? Well, for now, I'm not going to spoil anything else. Let's just take a look at this short teaser we've prepared.
Let's look at it.
They say that the snow is dead. But we've learned to the contrary.
On the edge.
The universe of Frostpunk holds even more fascinating secrets.
I was thinking about playing Frostpunk.
The next one should be really exciting, especially for fans of board games.
I didn't play it.
Frostpunk is going offline.
Oh,
here's
that
Jacob
was why.
Wisniewski from Glass Cannon Games to unveil this mystery.
Because it was online only.
Hi there, I'm Kuba Wisniewski from Glass Cannon. Some of you might remember me as the co-author of the highly acclaimed This War of Mine the board game. Now together with Adam Kwapinski, author of the best-selling Nemesis the board game, and my team, I'm super hyped to bring you an ice-cold tabletop experience. Ladies and gentlemen, Frostpunk is officially going unplugged. The core gameplay will be, as you could imagine, morally complex and highly challenging. We're working very hard to bring the emotions from the video game to your tables. Frostpunk the board game is is going to be a deeply strategic,
it's offline and on
yet
board.
easy to learn,
Ooh.
hope experience full of tough choices, narrative depth, immersive gameplay, snow, and despair.
Yeah, snow. Love snow. The fact that they can make a board game out of their video game tells you a lot
there are
about
some
how
exciting
successful they are.
adventures ahead of us.
So
Hats
I'm
not
not
all
even
of
gonna
them.
really shit on that.
We're also working on some exciting in-house projects, as well as collaborating with other studios like Fool's Theory. A new game from Digital Sun Games is coming as well.
Can I see those
And
games?
trust us when we say, there's more where that came from.
Oh, okay.
That concludes the news from 11-Bit Studios. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe to the newsletter to always be up to date with the latest news. Stay safe, and thanks for watching.
Could it really be? My God. Okay, I'll open it. Oh, super. No, it's not super hot, is it? Yeah. Ooh. Sick. So like John Wick Hex if it didn't suck. Pocket sand. I didn't get from that. That building is cool. Oh! Why is he wearing such a nice suit? Oh, I love that shit. That's good when you use the grenades in MGA. Sick. I didn't get to finish reading the title. Is it Fights Tight Spy? Ooh, comic books. Nice. Uh-huh. Oh, Watchmen. Okay. $20.20. Is that what it said? I can't. Oh God. Reading is hard. Magic here, man. Uh-huh. That's that looks cool. I'll check that out later. That looks cool. Ooh. Ooh. Sick. Wait, are you a pirate or are you an alchemist? Ooh. Cool, 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 cool. It's good music too. I didn't read their full dialogue. Oh, sick! That's good characterization. Try and look up that game in some form or fashion. What is? Like a heal or a power up? Ooh, giant shark. Holy crap, that audio is quite good. Oh, they're fish people. Oh! That's nice to see. That'll be good for the kids, though.
World premiere.
It's like Castle Crashers. Speaking of Castle Crashers, that's so not for kids. Is that you? As a Bobby? Yo. 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 Crocodile face guy? Yo. Wait. Was that man a cock? Whoa. That was like a lab. Getting like an old world Second Age with the Vikings kind of vibe. That's a good name for the game. Yeah, that's a good name for a game. I like it. No place for bravery. Oh, that's good. Ooh, neon. Ooh. Oh, now it's all anime. Yeah, they're holding hands. I like it. Oh my god. It's like they combined Gravity Rush and No Man's Sky. Or something. That's even cooler. Shit is loud. Oh yeah, what's it called? That shit literally slaps. I love characters in pre-established relationships. That shit's always good to see.
You ever wonder how it all ends? What if it ended with a song?
There you go. Because for the longest time he's only using the one gun. Is this Painkiller? No. Alright. Metal health slinger. Oh, not too bad.
Look at the time. Can you believe that my part of day one is almost over, people? Listen, we know you got literally nowhere else to go. But we also know that if you're like us, you're antsy for more of that new hotness. So before we hand the stream off to the Paradox Insider, here are a couple more world premieres.
Okay. I'm like, dude, I literally just came back from work. I can go back if I want to. And I don't. Quarantine. That green screen's doing good work here, huh, Greg? Is it a skit? 6-6? Pirates of the Caribbean vibes, King Crab. Old guy. Oh my god. It's like a parody of the original Death Stranding trailer. Or it's Norman Reedus and the baby. Oh my god. That's pretty funny. But what does that have to do about video games, huh? What's he gonna see, like 5 high school girls? I've got time. They kept that title on the screen for too long. That's uncomfortable.
Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up my section of the Guerrilla Collective's first day, but we are far from done. Up next is the Paradox Insider, where Paradox Interactive is going to share deeper details on the latest games they've been working on. Let's check in with Paula Tellin over in the Paradox studio. How's it going over there, Paula?
Hi, Greg. We're doing great. We've been watching the show and we love it. So I'm just a little bit annoyed that we have to start our own presentation, because that means we have to stop watching all of the cool content that you've shown so far.
I'm sure your stuff is also reasonably cool, or at least fun to watch.
Well, we're about to find out. The Paradox team have been working from home lately, so we're super excited to show the world outside what we've been working on this spring.
Cool stuff. I'm looking forward to it. So let's start the countdown and stay tuned for Paradox Insider.
Okay. Is it literally just going to transition over? Am I waiting for them to take over, I guess? Okay.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for the first ever Paradox Insider. My name is Paula, and I'm the event manager at Paradox. And joining me here is my good friend Sean, who is not a vampire, but the brand manager for World of Darkness. And I don't know about you, Sean, but I think it is wonderful to be here for our part in this grand celebration of games.
Absolutely, it's fantastic to be in a room with people again.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'd love to be in all the many, many rooms around the world that we're normally in with our players in Los Angeles, in Cologne, having the conversations that we love to have. But unfortunately, we can't, so we've got the next best thing. We're coming straight to your living room.
Yeah, and it also feels great that we're able to do something proactive about this and actually reach the world outside, show them what we've been working on this spring and so on.
Absolutely. I mean, we've all been working from home at Paradox, but our studios haven't let that stop them. They've been working from their living rooms, from their bedrooms, from their bathrooms. It's going to be a non-stop gaming fest today. We're going to hear from the teams behind Crusader Kings 3, Empire of Sin, Prison Architect, Surviving the Aftermath. We'll have a special message from Hearts of Iron 4, and of course the one game that I am 100% unbiased towards, despite the blood bonds, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. All right, let's not waste any more time, Paula. Why don't you kick it off with the team behind Crusader Kings 3?
Totally no bias.
All right, it is time to get this show started. It's time to dive into the treacherous world of Crusader Kings 3 with a fresh look at live gameplay from our newest grand strategy game. Please give a warm welcome, which we'll happily accept over the internet, to game designer Alexander Ultner and community developer Rod Del Rue.
Hi Paula, thanks for having us.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
So, you just dropped some major news for Crusader Kings. The game will be released on September 1st, which is literally around the corner, and pre-orders are live right now. Rod, how has the reception in the community been so far?
It's been so good. People are really appreciating the dev diaries that we're putting forward.
Oh my god, I didn't notice that they changed
We have fans
Swedish
that have
guys.
loved seeing the new religious system that we have, and also the lifestyle system that adds, just that little extra layer of RPG. So it's been pretty good. We're super happy.
Good. And Alex, how is the mood in the dev team right now?
Oh, it's fantastic. The team has been working really, really hard. And of course, it's both frightening and exciting to get feedback from our fans like this. We love the game, and we love all the feedback we're getting, and we're counting down the hours to September 1st.
Wonderful. Rod, tell us a little bit about what you have prepared for us today.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to start with one of the most interesting starting positions in CK3, which is going to be in Spain. Essentially, what we want to showcase here is the various decisions that are open to you even before you press play and start playing. It's like taking a look at the various challenges that you are facing before you start the game.
Cool. Well, let's dive in, shall we?
Sure.
I haven't seen a lot of Crusader Kings.
All right.
Okay,
the year
it's
is
like a 4X game.
1066, and we are located in northern Spain. Of course, it's not Spain yet, and it won't be for another 400 years, unless we expedite the process. Northern Spain is divided into a number of Catholic kingdoms that stand against the powerful Moorish realms of the south. In northwestern Iberia, we have 3 kingdoms ruled by 3 brothers. We have Galicia, we have Castile, and us in Leon. One new feature in Crusader Kings 3 is the Issues widget at the top. And if we click it, we can see that we are in line to inherit both Galicia and Castile.
Oh, bloodlines. Cool.
And see, this is what makes this starting position super interesting. We are playing as Leon, and the only thing that is standing between us and the throne of Galicia is our Castilian brother, and we need to attack him first before rushing for Galicia.
Literally civil war? Okay.
If we look at the map, we can see that Galicia is the one that is most open to Moorish attacks. Castile and Leon both have southern mountains that provide a very defensible advantage. If we compare army sizes, we can clearly see that Castile has the biggest army, while we have a middling army, and the young king of Galicia has the smallest army. None of us really have an edge over the other, but we might be able to find an ally to support us.
And in Crusader Kings, this might mean marriage, right?
Absolutely, Paula. Marriage is super key in Crusader Kings 3. If you don't have a marriage, you don't have any allies. And I think we should take a look at the various Iberian countries that we have around us, and I think an Aragon princess would do just fine.
Okay.
Indeed, this Aragonese princess will get us their armies on our side. Next, let's take a look at our king. So all characters in CK3 have 5 different skills. And we can see here that King Alfonso is very good at intrigue, which means that he can plot and scheme very effectively. And if we appoint a skilled spy master to support our schemes, and we get a spouse that enhances our intrigue, we can become even better. And to top it all off, we will pick a lifestyle that really accentuates this focus on scheming. We will pick the
yeah, you should stab them in the back and make them drink the poison that has them tell the truth
absolutely.
before they
And
die.
it's key here to lean into intrigue. And why is that? Because like Alex was mentioning, we have evenly matched forces against Castile, so we should really lean into that intrigue and start a murder plot to get rid of the brother.
Okay, so the plan is to kill the brother here. Alex, are we moving forward with this?
Indeed. We're going to try and murder our brother. As you can see, we have a 50% chance of succeeding. And if we are lucky, we can even find more agents in the court of our target that might be convinced by a slight bribe.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing with Crusader Kings, right? If you're trying to plot a murder against someone and you don't have enough power to succeed, you can bribe people, but you also have a special perk in the intrigue lifestyle, which essentially allows you to find secret and dirt on people in your court and then force them to join your plot.
So many different options, but unfortunately we're running out of time here. But Alex, how do you think that this story will play out?
Oh, there are so many unanswered questions. Will our plot against our Castilian brother succeed? Will we gain Galicia before Galicia manages to produce a legitimate heir? Will we be able to leverage the armies from Castile and Aragon to take over Galicia in time? Can we contain all of this familial treason before we have to fight external enemies? There are millions of ways for this to play out.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait a little bit longer, but thank you so much for taking us through a short snippet of the drama that you can expect in Crusader Kings 3. Due to be released on September 1st and available for pre-order now.
Well, betrayal, assassination,
Man, I got
treason.
production value over here.
Kind of feels like we're having a Paradox show already.
Yeah, I agree. You went down a dark path pretty fast there.
Good.
But I guess that the next game that we have lined up is not going to disappoint us either. I mean, building a crime empire in the 1920s Chicago is not something that you're going to get away with without bribing a few cops, breaking a few alliances, maybe cutting some questionable deals on the black market. What do you think?
Underhanded tactics, politics, taking over the city. These are all things that are very close to where my heart once was.
Next up is Empire of Sin.
Oh, Empire of Sin. That's the Romero game? Or am I thinking of something else?
And joining me here in the studio from the Empire of Sin team are Ian O'Neill, lead combat designer, and Brenda Romero, game director for Empire of Sin, both from Romero Games. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, guys.
So, Brenda, tell me, what inspired you to make a game about 1920s gangsters?
Maybe it is John Romero.
You know, it's more like what couldn't have possibly inspired me. I mean, we wanted to make this game for a long time. It's an incredibly rich space. It's 1920s Prohibition-era Chicago. You have a lot of larger-than-life personalities like Al Capone and Frankie Donovan and Goldie Garneau that are there at the time. And you know, what's not to love? The stories, the personalities were made for a strategy game. And as with many game designers, if you really want to play something and it's not there, then you make it.
Absolutely. So why don't you tell us how all of that figures into gameplay? What do we have here?
In Empire of Sin, you can play as one of 14 different bosses. And it's a great mix of factual and fictional bosses, each with their own bonuses and special abilities. And today, we're going to play as one Mr. Dean O'Banion.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about Dean. What's his background? What kind of person is he?
Well, he grew up in Chicago, actually, in an area known as Little Hell. And in spite of that, or possibly because of it, Dean had strong ties to the church, which influenced many of the decisions he made, but clearly not all of them. Dean actually owned a flower shop, and from there, he ran his rackets.
Okay, very cool. Do all the bosses have their own missions?
Indeed they do. Dean's just about to head off to meet with Father Higgins here, which will kick off his boss mission. Now, Dean's used to walking the streets of Chicago, but he can also take a look at things from the world map to get a good idea of what's going on. Here we see Dean having a bit of a holy sit-down with the good Father Higgins. Now, Father Higgins has received word that the brothel has opened up in a neighbourhood nearby. And if there's one thing that Dean cannot abide, it's brothels. There are several things Dean could pick to say here, but he does what he needs for the good of the church.
More interesting this way. No?
Ah, you're a good lad, Dean. Father Higgins offers him $500 from the coffers. Now, you can choose what you want to choose, but me, I'm always going to pick the cash. And a good blessing for the soul certainly can't hurt.
Righto, but how will Dean handle this then?
Well, in Empire of Sin, diplomacy happens one of two ways. It's either going to happen by breath or by bullet. And either we're going to talk it out and things are going to come to some kind of arrangement, or they're going to go south real quick. So Dean knows just the man for the job, and his name is George Moran. And he's a regular at one of Dean's establishments. You can see him there at the bar. So George is tight with the church too, but his morals are pretty loose. And here he's telling Dean that some guy is in from New York who he thinks has a pretty serious attitude problem. And George wants Dean to keep an eye on him, but Dean already knows a bit more. Now, the story ends up taking some surprising turns and getting pretty deep, but for now, Dean just wants to get the good father's deed done.
Okay, but it doesn't really sound like a one-man job. Is he going to get any help?
Oh, that's what I'm thinking too. In Empire of Sin, there are 60 gangsters of varying skill levels that you can hire to join your crew. Me? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hire on Maria Rodriguez and Guido Cerrone. Now, I fought with these guys before, and they're fantastic. Gangsters develop loyalty to their boss the longer that they work together, and they also have an individual attribute called morale, which affects how they perform.
We know that every boss in Empire of Sin has their own combat ability. What's Dean's speciality?
Oh, yes. Dean's combat ability is a ranged attack known as blasphemy. Now, there were many accounts of Dean's brutal attacks during the Chicago newspaper wars, where O'Banion and his crew were known as sluggers, and they would beat up the competition for rival newspapers. This often resulted in really close-range gunfights. This was where I drew the inspiration for blasphemy. Using this move, Dean will fire a custom shotgun slug at the target, and when the slug hits the target, it explodes. But I really wanted to add something extra, something that would give this ability a bang. That's when I decided that Dean's boss ability would be devastating to heavily armored foes. I wanted to shred their armor completely, and not just one target, but multiple targets. And as a final piece of the puzzle, the name. An awful, brutal attack delivered by a foe that saw himself as a saint. Blasphemy was a most fitting title.
Man, it is a perfect title and a great move. So here we can see that Dean is done, and he did what he needed to do, but there's a whole lot of Chicago beyond this. Dean's going to settle things here with Father Higgins, but like I said, it isn't over by a long shot, and it's going to take some surprising turns. In all of these stories, they're nothing compared to the stories that the player will tell on their way to the top of Chicago. That is mission complete.
Interesting, interesting.
Very cool, guys. You know, speaking of family connections, I've actually got a contingent out your way in County Galway. There's a Greeny's pub not far from you guys.
Well, now that we know about it, I'd say it's not for long. Do you have any idea what their security's like? We could use another racket.
I don't know how thick the walls are or how many cameras they've got, but give it a try and we'll see who gets who. Thanks for joining us, guys.
All right, all right.
That almost fell apart.
On to all you folks.
And Empire of Sin will come to both PC and console in autumn of this year, 2020.
So I was standing here on the side, just wishing I could play Brenda Romero in the game.
I'm absolutely certain you can. She's definitely snuck herself in there.
Yeah, hopefully. She is the coolest. But Sean, it seems like you left out an important piece of your backstory that I haven't heard
At
before.
least one important.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we'll see about that. But your family owns a pub in Ireland.
Yeah, definitely. So my distant family does have a pub in County Galway. But you know, I mean, every family has some skeletons in the closet. I'm sure your family is no different.
Oh, well, most likely, but I don't know. There's a Tallinn bakery in Stockholm,
Okay.
for whatever that's worth.
Yeah, I can see some dark stories there. We've got cinnamon buns, we've got Swedes. I think we've got some bribing Swedes with cinnamon buns.
What do you think about this guy, though, who have been standing here staring us out the entire time?
You're just blinking as well.
Yeah, I know. Do you think we could bribe him with some cinnamon buns?
No, I think this guy's more into whiskey and cinnamon bun-sized holes in his enemies. And from one game about managing organized crime to another about managing criminals, it's time for Prison Architect.
Somehow different games. No, Perfect Island Getaway is a scam. Oh. Is it forget. This guy's some excitement and happiness. Is it Explosion that it's in? Totally looks like excitement and happiness. No, maybe not. Oh, it's like pets. Like how they were supposed to give them like pets.
Wow, that is Island Bound.
Awesome.
Let's check in with the team, and first, give a polite welcome, which won't disturb your neighbors, to product manager Stacey McElwham. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
God, it's a catchy trailer you have there.
Yes, right?
Everyone in the studio were just dancing along. But you have an expansion coming up, Island Bound, that will be the first expansion in Prison Architect history that will ship simultaneously on PC and console.
It will be.
Stacey, what can you tell us about this expansion?
Yeah, so Island Bound is built from the ground up in order to expand and enhance the core gameplay of Prison Architect.
Okay.
This is really exciting because it means that for the first time you can actually build a real island prison,
Cool.
Completely independent of the road. So you no longer need to
I'm
use the
gonna
road
build
if you don't want to.
Alcatraz 2,
It
and it'll
also
have
means that
Black
for the
Ops.
first time you can oversee the world's most iconic island prison,
And
Alcatraz, on the new Alcatraz map.
There you go.
And it means that you can reimagine your transportation and deliveries completely with
Cool.
new features like docks, helipads, helicopters, boats, and ferries.
Hella fresh.
And of course, we have a cool new elite ops and a new air fire unit that can be called in during an emergency. Yeah, it's very cool.
A lot of stuff.
A lot of new stuff.
So let's check in with the team at Double 11. Joining us here is Gas Wright, Game Design Manager, and Natalie Wicks, Product Design Manager. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi. So Gas, it generally sounds like there's a lot of things in this expansion.
Yeah, there is. And all of the content that's coming with Island Bound will integrate seamlessly with Prison Architect's existing mechanics. So it adds a lot more variety and depth to the game. And even if you don't want to build an island prison every single time, all the new features, the docks, helipads, helicopters, boats, ferries, new emergency services, new security features, they'll all work with your existing saves as well as new prisons that you might build on the land.
Cool. So you don't have to actually restart
And also,
the game, right?
we have a free update that's launching on the same day with Island Bound. This update is called The Rock, and it introduces dynamic prisoner reputations. So players will see prisoners gaining and losing reputations dynamically while spending time in their prison based on their actions, their experiences, and where they spend their time.
Cool. And always nice with free updates. Natalie, can you tell us a little bit about how the game has evolved during this past year?
Yeah, we've been very busy over the last year. So I think as of next week, we will have launched hundreds of community improvements to the game, and that's alongside the 3 expansions we've also released since then. So there was Psych Ward Warden's Edition, Cleared for Transfer, and now Island Bound. All of these added new mechanics to the base game as well. So, for example, Psych Ward added insane inmates. Cleared for Transfer added prison privileges and security transfers. And finally, Island Bound will let people create the prison island of their dreams.
We're so much looking forward to it. But if we look more into the future, what is next for Prison Architect? Natalie, can you tell us anything about the future plans?
No, I can tell you that we do have a lot of plans for console and PC, but I'm afraid you will have to wait till later in the year for more information.
Right, but then there will be more.
Yes, but you'll have to keep your eyes open. But I can tell you that just like Island Bound, future expansions will be released on both PC and console.
Yes, so thank you for joining us, PC, Gas, Natalie, and good luck with the new expansion.
Thank you so much.
Island Bound and the free update The Rock will be available soon, so stay tuned.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm curious. What kind of warden would you be?
Ooh, good question. I would probably build a beautiful but highly insufficient and shitty prison, to be honest. What about you, Sean?
Well, I think what I would do is I'd look for a really big island, like a continent. And then I would put all the snakes and all the spiders on the continent and probably an opera house.
I see where this is going.
Not
Okay.
like this, but like this.
From
It's like
one management game where everyone wants to get out to a management game where everyone wants to get in. Here is Surviving the Aftermath.
And joining me here in the studio is Stefan Eld and Lasse Liljedal, the product manager and game director for Surviving the Aftermath. Now guys, I notice a disturbing lack of vampires and werewolves in this game, so you're going to have to explain it to somebody who hasn't yet picked it up.
Well, Surviving the Aftermath is a post-apocalyptic survival colony builder. It's quite a mouthful to say.
Short genre.
Anyway, the basic premise is that you need to build the perfect disaster-proof colony in a post-apocalyptic world. And in order to do so, you need to harvest and collect resources, you need to build your colony, you need to protect it from hostile environments or rival societies, and much, much more.
Okay, so it's a survival colony builder. I mean, that is a relatively broad genre. Lasse, could you tell me how Surviving the Aftermath stands out?
Yeah, the game is more than a colony builder. It adds strategic layers of gameplay by opening up the outside world beyond the colony. And the world map is actually one of the key features we have spent a lot of time creating. And in the world map, players can send teams of specialists to gather resources and intelligence about the world around their colony. And there they can encounter also other societies, which can be friendly or not, but they will react to players' reputation and decisions throughout the game.
So one thing that I noticed since I saw you two together last is a little change of outfit here. Everyone will remember who's been following this game how you announced it in your fantastic hazmat suits. You've updated your wardrobe, and I know you've been updating the game as well. So what's changed since we last saw you in Berlin?
So, we've had 7 major content updates, and each of those updates has introduced new features, such as new trading system with other societies, vehicles that make movement in the world map much more efficient, and we also reworked the tech tree completely and expanded it quite drastically. And one of the most recent features is a combat system, which includes a colony combat where you defend your colony against raiding bandits and have other smaller encounters with wild beasts that are roaming in the nature around your colony. And maybe one more thing to mention is the criminality system, which concerns every colonist in the game.
Okay, Stefan, but what about Steam players? When will they be able to get Surviving the Aftermath?
We will be bringing Surviving the Aftermath to Steam Early Access in October. Don't forget to wishlist it. And ever since we released the game last year, we have been receiving tons of good feedback from players, and we're hoping to develop the game with the feedback that we can get from the Steam community as well. And in fact, with the feedback that we have received, we felt that we need to add more updates to the roadmap so we can put all that content into the game that we know that the players want and that the community deserves.
So with all of these updates that have come along, obviously viewers are wondering what's next. Lastly, can you give us a sneak preview?
Of course. Update 8, called Tainted Earth, will be available on June 18th to all Surviving the Aftermath players. And in this update, we focus on pollution, which further deepens this aspect of the game by adding different pollution strengths and an area of effect around the pollution deposits and catastrophes that makes the pollution levels rise. And I might say that this is our biggest update yet for the game.
Fantastic. For new players like myself, where can I get started with Surviving the Aftermath?
Well, as I mentioned before, you can wishlist it on Steam now, and where it will be out in early access on October 22nd this year. And you can also get it on Epic Game Store and Xbox Game Preview already. And our plan is to have the game leave early access in early 2021.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us, Lasse. Thank you for joining us, Stefan.
Thank you.
That was Surviving the Aftermath.
So that was a very smooth Surviving the Aftermath stream. No catastrophes, nothing leaked, no radiation and so on like we're used to seeing in the usual gameplay streams.
Yeah, fair call, fair call. But let's move on from one game about surviving an apocalypse to another about surviving your own immortality.
But first, we have something special for Paradox fans and strategy players everywhere. It's the 4th anniversary of Hearts of Iron 4, so we want to congratulate the team on going 4-on-4. And here's a little something from the game team and game director, Don Lind.
Hi, my name is Dan, and I'm the game director for Hearts of Iron 4. And I'm here today because this is the 4th anniversary for the game. So I want to say thank you for all our supporters and all the feedback and all the great mods you guys have been doing. The community is bigger than it's ever been, and it's just amazing to be part of that. And also, I want to tell you guys that it doesn't really stop here. We've got a lot more cool Hearts of Iron stuff coming up in the future, so definitely look forward to that.
In 2016, Paradox released the ultimate grand strategy war game. Over the years, the game has expanded, and tools of history has evolved.
Soldiers, sailors, and airmen, you are about to embark upon the Great Crusade.
Wait, when did that happen?
You will bring about the destruction of the German war machine.
Huh, I didn't know that happened.
We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall never surrender. The new world, with all its power and might, steps forth to the rescue and the liberation of the old.
Good luck, and let us all beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking.
And a big congratulations to Hearts of Iron 4 on 4 years. All right, family, we've got quite the treat for you today. We recently showed you the wholesome and rhythmic way in which Kindred celebrate the holidays on our Xbox Series X showcase, but what you saw was only most of the trailer. What we have for you today is what we're calling the Prince's Cut, with a very special guest appearance, so I suggest you stick around. We're also going to find out what you get when you pre-order the Bloodlines 2 Collector's Edition.
Ooh, look, physical stuff. Cool. I know Ghost is pretty excited for this shit. Oh yeah, Steelbook case. Am I gonna get a figure of the goth girl? Ooh. And a downloadable version. Ooh, DLC. Okay. You get a season's pass. Hey, I called it. You can't not. That's pretty good.
And joining me here in the studio today is Nikat Ali, lead producer at Paradox Interactive.
Hello, everyone.
And Rachel Leica, lead creative designer at Hardsuit Labs.
Hello.
Now, these guys have all the gruesome details, but let's start with, what is your favorite part of the collector's edition, Nikki?
That will be the Elif statue.
Yeah,
and that's because she's my favorite character. But also, since I lived in Seattle for 6 months, it's really good to have a map I've kept as a memento.
And it's quite a faithful recreation of Seattle, as I understand it.
Exactly. Cartoonified.
That's cool to have maps.
Very cool. And Rachel, what's your favorite part of the collector's edition?
That was nice to have.
I'm a big fan of that 7-inch vinyl of the original soundtrack. It's a really stunning physical copy of the really amazing soundtrack. Made partially by Rich Schaefer, composer from the original game. So I'm pretty excited to throw that on my turntable.
I don't think you'll be the only one. Any Bloodlines fan have that theme stuck in their head. We've teased it enough. It's time to find out which kindred survived those Los Angeles nights and the long, long road to Seattle.
Alright, this is the same trailer from the Xbox show, I guess. Just extended slightly.
Let's show them how we do. Everyone grab a limb.
Bye-bye now.
Separate ways, still the memory stays for always. My heart says, not the sure. Though we go separate ways, still the memory stays for always. My heart says, darker shade. I'll be the same, darker
Alright. This is the extra stuff. Oh. Oh, damn. Got some real ass gameplay up in here.
Move and the back of your head's gonna be so full of phosphorus, it'll be a war crime.
That's right, everybody. Damsel is back for Bloodlines 2. We are so excited to be able to announce this, that she has returned for our game. She has spent her time in California since the first game, establishing the Anarch Free State there, and now she's on her way to the Pacific Northwest to spread that good Anarch word.
Ugh, Bruja and Anarch. I can almost feel the rebel's blood rising. Where's the Justicar when you need one? But okay, clan critique aside, one of the great things about Damsel that old fans loved was the voice acting.
That's weird, because they work for
That
him,
was
right?
Courtney Taylor, and she's
I didn't even think about
reprising
that.
her role as Damsel, which is super exciting.
Okay, good to hear I won't be forced to fleshcraft anybody's voice box into anybody else. But is there anything else that you guys would like to share with the viewers about Bloodlines 2?
That
Rachel?
I'm totally not aware of, since I don't look on
Well, we're
the
just
game,
really
quote,
excited
unquote.
for people to start playing the game and kind of find out what kind of monster you're going to become. You can make all kinds of choices in this game. You can do all kinds of things. You can glide across rooftops. You can use your powers of vampiric persuasion to get what you want out of people. You can even dance your way into certain people's hearts if that is what you would like to do. There are many ways to be a vampire in this game. Of course, the right answer is to be a Brujah, because we have cool jackets and are pros at rabble-rousing.
Okay, there you have it. The one defining feature of Brujah is their 80s fashion sense. And thanks for joining us via link, Rachel, and thanks for coming into the studio, Nikki. That was Rachel Laika and Nikat Ali from the Bloodlines 2 team. Thank you, Sharon.
Seriously, that trailer really creeps me out. It gets me every time. But I can't believe that Damsel is in the game. I'm just thinking cosplay potential for all the future events.
Well, definitely. You could also be thinking, well, the Anarch scum have revealed their position. And with the Archons moving swiftly towards Seattle, I think that's a wrap.
I think so too. We've experienced murders and betrayals in Crusader Kings 3.
We've met a boss in Empire of Sin,
Trapped convicts on an island in Prison Architect.
balanced the needs of our survivors with the needs of the environment in surviving the aftermath,
Celebrated Hearts of Iron 4.
and reconnected with their fan favorite and my old enemy in Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines 2.
We hope that you've enjoyed this insider look. Please stay safe, stay sane, wash your hands and play some games. That's all from Stockholm. Have a good night. Bye.
Okay. That's interesting how they kind of cut it into like a little half sort of thing. Like a nice little half hour. So there are some other game trailers I noticed that didn't show up there. So we're just gonna watch those separately.
Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the Guerrilla Collective's first day, but we are far from done. Of course, we've shown you a bunch of games you can get today, but we've also partnered with Steam. You can head over there to the Guerrilla Collective section, you can wishlist the games, you can show these developers love. Beyond that, you can catch the PC Gaming Show today at 11 a.m. Pacific, and then you can catch the Future Game Show at 2 p.m. Pacific. If that wasn't enough, we're back with day 2 of the Guerrilla Collective tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific with even more reveals, trailers, and demos, and then we wrap up Monday starting at 9 a.m. Pacific with extended gameplay sessions with the developers. You won't want to miss any of it, I swear. But until next time, no. It's been our pleasure to serve you. The Guerrilla Collective thanks its gold sponsor, ID at Xbox.
Okay, whatever. How do I zoom in again? Is it Earth? Oh god, what the hell? Hold on. Okay. Damn. Okay, are there any more event things going on here that I can watch? Because I saw other people were watching the future games thing. One day old. Da, 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 da. Just IRA. So hold on. We saw all of these. Baldur's Gate 3, we saw that. Mafia, the video game. But what is this from? And then people are watching the future thing games. Huh. Is that ongoing? Let's just be sure before we commit to anything else. Yeah. Nope, don't see anything. Okay. Just watch these random game trailers, and we'll leave. Gord. Alright, I look really need to. The outline. Ooh, the outlines. Okay. Quantum error. Okay. Let's watch these three. Have you seen this somewhere else before? No, okay. That's a video game. Nice video game. Cool. Looks interesting. You know, for a cop. Kind of feels like he's a firefighter. Oh, it's Tokyo Ghost one. No. And then okay, so not Ghost one. Is it Ghostwire? No, it's not.
Product not yet rated.
Oh no. Oh, Ghostwire.
Relax. Embrace the software. Are your greatest assets in battle.
Okay. And then hyperspace. Damn. Quick. Oh wait, twin. Do we see twin mirrors? I think we've seen it somewhere else. Another unreal. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That looks good. That looked good. Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of other stuff here, and there's also gonna be more. Percent. I can't pick it. Wait, what was that one with the green? I don't remember that one. That down here. What was that? Immortal Shell. That type sounds cool. We'll do this one. Last one.
The consecrated fires revealed cinders and shadows.
Okay.
But beneath it all, no monsters, no gods, only oblivion.
Not bad. Oh. Okay. Alright, cool. So, it's gonna be another one of those. Considering how, like, these are probably gonna come out while I'm gone, look at the trailers first before I decide I'm gonna watch the videos. Yeah. Okay. So if you would like to see more videos like that, you can hit me up on the Discord, in the comment section of the YouTube, or live on a Twitch stream, and let me know what you think. If you want to see, obviously, the other 2 days, let me know there too. And, yeah. Remember to hit me up on all those platforms, and thanks for watching. Until next time. Thanks for watching. Poutine, out! Peace.